Hi, my name is Maren Oberman and I'm a professor in the School of Environment, Resources and Sustainability at the University of Waterloo in Canada. I also direct the Soil Ecosystem Dynamics Research Group with signature research area in sustainable agriculture, soil carbon sequestration, greenhouse gas emissions, climate change resilience, and soil health and biochar and restoration activities. Our research in biochar and soil health focuses on a project where we have worked together with industrial collaborations using biochar preconditioned in urea ammonium nitrate and how this impacts corn biomass productivity and how it also impacts soil chemical, physical, and biological characteristics on coarse, medium, and fine textured soils. More recently, we have established a project which is the largest replicated on-farm biochar trial in southern Ontario, and the objective here is to establish the effect of biochar on soil health, greenhouse gas emissions, and climate change resilience. We have also worked on climate change resilience and particularly greenhouse gas emissions. Here we've been working in Argentina on a project where we're evaluating the effect of maize monocropping on greenhouse gas emissions, particularly under different fertilizer rates as well as irrigation regimes. This work is in collaboration with colleagues in Argentina and is taking place on the Argentine Pampa. We've also been working on short rotation coppice willow and bioenergy plantations to evaluate temporal greenhouse gas emissions in these systems that are fertilized and unfertilized and established on marginal land. This particular work takes place in southern Ontario, and we're also hoping to expand this work to include poplar, short rotation coppice systems, as well as herbaceous grasses including switchgrass and miscanthus. We've also been working on sustainable agriculture and food security, particularly in cereal legume intercrops. This experiment was established in 2005 in Argentina, in the Argentine Pampa, and we've been working there with Argentinian collaborators to determine the potential of cereal legume intercrops to sequester carbon and mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. We're also using this particular site to determine nitrogen transformations in intercrops. We've been working in Northern Ontario to establish agroforestry community gardens on First Nation reserves, and here we want to ensure that these particular communities that are very vulnerable to climate change can ensure food security under a changing climate. We've also been working with food wastage with respect to how can we use food waste, particularly from the, for example, the restaurant industry, the hotel and food industry, and of course from individual households. How can this food waste be composted and used successfully as an amendment on depleted soils? This particular project is taking place in Tanzania, and we're hoping to look a little bit more at the social implications and how we can convince agricultural producers that composted food waste is an excellent amendment to replenish soil fertility. We have also been working in restored riparian systems. This particular study has been ongoing since 1985. This site was restored beginning in 1985, and since then we've looked at biophysical changes, changes in vegetation composition, changes in soil, carbon sequestration, greenhouse gas emissions, as well as transfers of organic matter from the land to the water in this restored riparian forest, and compared it to an undisturbed forest. This work will probably continue, and we are hoping to establish some temporal aspects with respect to greenhouse gas emissions. We've also been working on climate change resilience. This particular work has taken place using the cereal legume intercropping system I spoke of previously. Here we're trying to evaluate if cereal legume intercrops and the soil that under cereal legume intercrops is more resilient to climate change. And here we've been exposing the soil to enhanced atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations as well as enhanced temperatures. And we are working on these results, so please stay tuned for further information as the results become available. We've also used something similar using very commonly applied agroforestry tree seedlings in Costa Rica, and also how these will respond to a changing climate. So these are some of the major research areas that we are focusing on currently in the Soil Ecosystem Dynamics Research Group, and for further information please check out our website www.moelbermann.com and contact us if you have further questions. Thank you.